Good evening, folks, and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 1 for tonight's dose of racing action. I was not here last week, of course, but we are here for round number 5 to catch you up on all of the Tier 1 action. And if you hadn't listened to the podcast during the week, I will give you a very, very quick rundown of the results from last week. A little bit of a mixed-up grid into qualifying. Your top three was QVR, Verstappen, Ghost and Griffin as they stood in qualifying. Ryder now then went on to win the race after starting at the back, doing a last-to-first challenge, something very much frowned upon, or at least discouraged in APPF1. Along with Verstappen just not quite holding on to the win, but taking home a podium, and Ghost finishing on that final slot on the podium. Those drivers will be, of course, hoping to finish in those positions again tonight here at the Hungary for round number 4. The drivers are getting out onto the track. Let's get all the details up for you. I still haven't fixed my controller, by the way. It's very irritating, as you can imagine. We've got Alpine of Griffin, that's going to be the lead car going around. One of my favourite circuits on the Formula 1 calendar. I love this place, the Hungary. It's a fantastic track. It's so technical. It's also so fast at the same time as well. You've really got to be on it at all times to get the best out of this circuit. It is fantastic. Hello to the 3 people watching so far. Get involved in a live chat if you're not one of the weirdos who watch the race and drive at the same time. I still don't understand people who can do that. I need full focus when I'm behind the wheel for a league race. But anyways, we're going to ride on board with Griffin coming through the final corner now. Very wide line to set up and get the maximum of the straight line speed. Down the pit straight we go then into turn number 1 of this fantastic race circuit. Braking around that 100-metre board. Can he get the apex? Just about. Carries a decent amount of speed, maybe a little too much, as he enters into the next straight road section in towards turn number 3 now. Yes, that little kink is a corner as we head down the hill, and to end off the final part of the first sector, a little bit more straight mode as we head into turn 5. Very fast flick to the left, keeping in the track limits. Then we go round this corner as well. I think it's actually maybe it's turn 5. Don't get me confused. Anyway, tricky hairpin now. Through goes Griffin. You've got to take a very tight line through there and use as much of the curb as you dare. Through this twisty section now. Go left, then right. Then we're going to go left again. Pretty much flat all the way through. And then a lift through this next right-hander. Down the hill to come across the sector 2 line now. Decent times from Griffin in the Alpine. Through into the last sector now. It's 3 corners. There's one. This is the second one, a hairpin. Then the last corner, a similar hairpin as well. And what line will he take? There's so many different lines he can take through this corner. Very tight line this time. Shortest way around possible. Down towards the line for Griffin to set us off with a 1 minute 16.241. It's gonna be a Haas maybe. Is it Lawrence? It is a 17.1 for Lawrence. Is it Koru next? No, there is a McLaren. That's Finley, but then Koru's gonna follow him up as well. 1 minute 16.9. Then a Ferrari of Hugo up there as well. Then it's gonna be QVR Verstappen 16.1. It's gonna then be a Mercedes. Is it Palang? It is Palang starting a lap there. But that was Joey B crossing the line there as well. Reshka coming around the final corner to finish off his opening lap of the session. The 16.9 puts him 5th for now. Must be the other Haas. It is. It's Scott making his way around the circuit. I'm not sure if this is going to be overly competitive. An 18.4 from Scott. Ghost with a 16.1. And then that's Jack Alaka with a 16.3 there as well. Then we've got the 2 RBs making their way along. It's Appalisa first. Then you've got one of the Aston Martins. Is it Lifebout? Yes, it is. Not a competitive lap from Lifebout. Chris RBL up into P3. Championship leader now. Invalidated this one, but I think I would hazard a guess that that's just an out lap for him. So he'll be coming back round again. Dakar, is he on a lap? Yes, he is. Where's Avenir out on the circuit as well? And these guys out on an outlap as well. So we're watching Palang as he comes around. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead of him. He'll hope that they all peel out of the way. And they do, all into the pit lane. So not too much of a distraction for the Mercedes driver. Making his way around the circuit now to finish off his opening lap of this Gambit. And it's up on provisional pole from Palang. Not a bad effort from the season 17 champion. Let's check on everybody else now. That's Scott. I think he's on an in-lap. Ride it out. He's just come through sector 1. Daker's making his way around the final corner. Let's see what Daker has in his Cadillac. Making his way down towards the line. It's P9 for the Scotsman. This is coming in, so I think Ride It Out's going to be next. Or is it going to be Lifebout? No, it's going to be Lifebout. He's invalidated though, so it won't be Lifebout on this occasion. Avenir has just been passed by Ride It Out, so Ride It Out's now going to be making his way through the next part of the track. One more corner to go for the championship leader. Is it going to be a similar story to all the other qualifying sessions bar one that we've had? It certainly is. A 15.2. That is miles clear of Palang's time. A good 6/10 or so over. Raymond just been given a permanent seat in Tier 1. Henny's in the Mercedes now. I think this is probably a sighter lap maybe, warming up those tyres. So we'll watch Avenir as we spout off some stats for you. We love the stats. Go send me the stats every week. And it's weird. Tier 1, we had 6 total events. 6 races here at the Hungary. Absolute track record is a 14.4. Will we get close to that? I don't think we will. I don't know about the race lap though. 16.0 is the race lap. Of course, Finley has the quali lap. Finley's also got the most wins here. Most podiums goes to Rick, the Dutchman, of course. Closest win gap was between Rick and Jackalacco. Smallest pole gap we've had. The smallest pole gap was a .042 between Paulie Orange and Lifebout. The largest being 0.364. If it ends now, we will have our new largest pole gap. That previous one was between Finley and Palang, of course. 2 drivers who are right up there now, and definitely a lot closer than they were in season 17. Avenir has placed himself in P12 in the meantime. Very decent effort from the Ferrari driver. Let's switch over to the live chat now to see if anybody's joined in. Doesn't look like it. He left me all on my own. Horrible, horrible people. Raymond on a lap this time. And invalidated, in fact, so who cares? Nobody. So it's very mean of me to say. There you go. There's Lawrence. He'll be looking to have a better season so far. We'll take a quick look at the standings, I suppose. Lewis fan, you're not on my own. Oh, hello. I'm not on my own. I'm not on my Owen anymore. I'm sure you mean own. But yes, hello, Lewis, in the chat. Let's see. Let's have a look at the standings as they go. Obviously, Ride It Out Championship leader, 29 points ahead of Chris RBL, his next closest rival. A point behind him is Kvyat Verstappen. You've then got Lifebout and Finley on top 5. Ghost, Perez, Mahmoud, Koru and D-Move. The rest of the top 10. Paul Lawrence is right down in P20 with 6 points. He's had 2 non-points finishes, a non-star and a 10th. So he'll be looking to get a decent result here tonight in Hungary. Try and help him and his teammate Scott propel themselves up the order as Haas found himself in a respectable 6th place. Tied 1 points with Red Bull and Williams and Alpine and Ferrari, all on 31 points respectively. So a big battle for what will be P5 in this championship at the time being. So I'm sure you've got this, Lawrence, but not with that lap. You won't. Don't invalidate that. There's some more of the story there. Right, let's see who else is out on track. Joey B is directly behind Lawrence, so we'll follow on board then with Joey B. One of the drivers that races across all 3 divisions. Races in Tier 3, Tier 2 and in Tier 1 here as well. I believe he also races in Elite. Hello, Avenir. Way out of my depth here. It is a tricky circuit, Avenir. I will give you that. The Hungaroring is not for the faint-of-hearted. You've got to be so committed around this track to try and get anything out of the lap. So don't beat yourself up. Just go out there, get your head down, and get the laps in. That's all you got to do. And of course, always chase that improvement. Try and just improve marginally, if at all. That's how I've always approached qualifying sessions. You know what you're capable of, go out there and see what you can do. would be my advice to you at home. I believe it's Verstappen is about to cross the line. He's 2/10 of a second up. It's going to place him a little bit closer. Lifebout's, in fact, also gone a bit closer as well. He's about 3/10 or over away from his teammate on his previous best. That's Chris RBL going with a 15.6. I think we're going to have the two Audis next. Ghost is making his way around the final corner. He's said many times now that he likes the way that these cars run in qualifying, but only P7 for Ghost. It's a minor improvement. No improvement of position, I don't think. Well, it might have been a slight improvement of position for him. Jacalaco's improved marginally as well. Hugo right up there into P4, 2. The times are coming in thick and fast, folks. Thick and fast are the times. Finley's invalidated again. He's got an issue with invalidating. Does Finley. Lifebout on an out lap, so we're going to see not Lawrence, but Daker coming into the pits. Here's Avenir out on circuit this time. Let's see if he follows my advice and can improve on his time. Reshka down. Anyone else on a lap? It is a bit of a chore to spot the drivers on a lap, but I think it is going to be Avenir. We'll keep an eye on the timing table. Lifebout might also be on a lap actually as well, who is a little bit further ahead. So let's follow along with Lifebout. Oh no, he's way down. He's doing another prep lap, I think. So Avenir will be the next to set a competitive time. He's 3/10 up. So he's doing well so far. Again, it's the small margins here in Hungary. I think in every sector you can find so much time. So much time can be won or lost in turns 1 and 3. You can find a lot of time in turn 5 and that chicane especially as well. All of sector 2 really. Sector 2 is probably the most crucial part around this circuit. But that's what I mean. It's one of the most technical circuits on the calendar. You know, barring a lot of the street tracks maybe like Monaco. But it's so twisty, it's so tight. Every corner matters around this track to really maximise it. Avenir's got a decent improvement in here. Actually, not quite. He's lost a chunk of time. It's only a 10th. That sees him up to P12. He's going to need a big improvement to get into the top 10, but I don't think P11 is out of his reach. Not at all. Let's see what he can manage. Palang out on track, not improving. Other Mercedes, Raymond out on track, not improving. Another car on track is Scott. We won't know if Scott's improving until he crosses the line. Well, that's a sign that he's not improving because he's in the... In fact, he's improving so much he's hit the barrier. Lawrence will be glad that was Rideout's out on circuit. I think he's putting down a competitive time by the looks of things. Lifebout is not. And in fact, is Lifebout out here for some tow? I don't think so. Again, I think he's just putting in some laps on those soft tyres. So Rideout is marginally up. He's going to be in the 1 minute 15.1s as it stands. He's actually now a 10th and a half up almost. So he's most certainly going to be in the 14s if he can find any more time in these final couple of corners here. All he'd need is 204, I guess, or 0.204 tenths of a second to get in the 14s. Not quite. It's a 0.091 improvement, 900ths of a second. It places him a little bit further away from everyone else. It's still about half a second that the drivers are going to need to find in order to beat this man to pole position. Lifebout, can he be one of the drivers to do it? He is out on track. These Aston Martins have got the track to themselves. It's the weekend of the Hungarian Grand Prix. And Aston Martin seems to have some big upgrades. I haven't watched practice yet, so we'll see what the times are a little bit later. Let's see joys of working. I don't really watch practice anyway. Who does? Give us a shout if you watch practice. Like, unironically. Like, not in the background doesn't count. but their life pack's in. He's not going to allow. But, yeah. On in the background is reasonable, but like anything more than that. See, well, we're in the final stages of qualifying now. The two McLarens are out on circuit. I think Koru being the lead of them. So we're going to ride along with Koru and have a look which driver is that behind him, just so I know. It's Scott. And then that's going to be Ghost. So Scott, where's Koru, Scott, Ghost, and then Finley. Let's ride on board with Koru. Koru down in P14, looking for an improvement on his previous. So easy to invalidate here, so easy to lose time in any of the corners, so easy to get caught up in traffic. Jackalacco nicely out of the way for Koru. Down towards turn number 3 he goes. Nice and tight line, shortest way around, get on the power as early as possible. Really maximise the speed down this next part of the track. Hopefully the drivers ahead are going to get out of the way. He's got 3 cars to navigate as he makes his way into Sector 2 now. There's a Mercedes ahead. Let's see, this could be risky. Mercedes just far enough ahead. Koru may be a little cautious through the chicane as he makes his way in towards the rest of Sector 2 now. Of course, the rest of the drivers are going to have to navigate this traffic as well. Let's see where Koru is going to filter out. It's half a second up for Koru. This could place him into the top 10 if he can find a little bit more. Making his way around the final couple of corners now. I think Scott might have been on a slow lap. Ghost might have been as well, but we'll see. We'll follow along with Ghost in a second. Koru makes his way across the line. It's up to P11. Ghost into the pits. No improvement for Ghost. Finley, we're going to watch him. Let's see if he's got a pole lap in him. And he's so close to the back of Scott. Is that going to hinder him? It might well have done. He's up into P2. It's a front row for Finley. Still nowhere near Ryderdow. Nowhere near at all, in fact. Dakar up 6/10. He's fine for the top 10 now. And he gets it. P9. Can he stay there? Griffin on an outlap. Joey B in the other Alpine. No improvement. Avenir up to P13. The 2 Aston Martins out on a lap. Is that Raymond? No, it's Palang next. Palang on an outlap. Kvyat Verstappen. He's up by 0.1. Let's see as he crosses the final the final line, I suppose. Only a 0.1 improvement keeps him P6. Chris RBL's retired. Is that Apalisa next? It is. P13 for the RB. Reshka down on his previous. Koru into the pits. So we're following along with Reshka. No improvement from the Williams driver. Raymond next. 8/10 up. It's Raymond. Only good enough for a last place in this race. Or in this qualifying session, I should say. Hugo next. What can he do across the line? A slight improvement keeps him in P7. Jackalacco now. Crosses the line. P10 knocks Dakar out of the top 10. That's Finley done. We're getting now. Who is this? Lawrence? No, it's Scott maybe. It is Scott, but he's down. So we look to the 2 Aston Martins. First his life bout invalidated and way down on his time. I think that's going to be all she wrote, unless Palang has got a monstrous lap in him. He does enough to get himself in the front row, but is Ryderdow improving? He's not, and he doesn't really feel the need to. He's so far ahead of everybody else. We smashed that largest pole gap record here at Hungary, and that's it. That's your qualifying session. Unless Joey B or Avenir are on a lap, they are not, and that's it. Ryderdow once again on pole position by just shy of 5/10. I would say. Wow. About 4/10 of a second, actually. 4/10. I can't count. Wow. Police, I'm assuming, stunned in the chat, doesn't understand the magic powers of the 1 minute 15.1 set by this man, Ryderdale, in P1 there. You've then got AMS Palang in P2. Front row start for him. Finley, Lifebound and Chris, your top 5. Verstappen, Hugo, Griffin, Ghost, and Jack, top 10 in this. Daka, Koru, Lawrence. I've just forgotten where I am. Appalisa, Afanir, Roska, Jerry B, Scott, and Raymond. The rest of the grid as we go into round number 5 of Tier 1. And I've got to try and bring as much excitement here as possible, because the constructors is more or less done, and at this rate, so is the drivers. If Ryderdale keeps winning races, fumbled your lap. Oh well. No points for qualifying, Avenir. No points for qualifying. Get out there, get some points. The more points, the better, obviously, but just points. Get points on the board. You never know. There were always opportunities in the race. I hear that Lawrence guy is pretty rubbish. Oh dear. Righty. We are just waiting now on the drivers to pick their setups, or make their final tweaks to their setups even. Just tweak the strategy, get it just right. I'd imagine this is a one stop. Hard, medium, hard. That sort of strategy. I think the mediums would do about 14 laps from memory, and then you can run hards right to the end. Whether that's changed with these cars, I don't know, but that's what I did last time out at the Hungary, and that got me a win around this track. So, you know, been there, done that. But listen to me if you want. Appalisa has wagged out the session. We are still waiting, of course. Just keeping an eye on the Tier 1 chat for you as well. I've got all the information I could ever need. Here we go then. We got 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for round number 5. Aston Martin versus Mercedes off the line, and we are underway and racing. It looks like a decent start from Palang actually, and he's going to draw level with the Aston Martin of Ryderdale as they go into turn number 1, battling away, and it's 2 by 2 as they go for the front 2 and for the 2 behind as well, and they're still side by side, Palang and Ryderdale. Who's going to come out on top in towards turn number 3 now? The outside line for the Mercedes, and they're banging wheels as they go through, and the shorter line wins out the day, and Palang forced to sit back in P2, and it's under a threat now from Finley, looking to the outside of the next corner. It's hard to get round there, doesn't go for it, backs out and leaves Palang to it. We want telemetry, we want that one. There you go, position changes already. It's 2 places for most drivers. Lawrence and Appalisa up 2, Raymond up 2 as well. No change amongst the top 5 here as well. Hopefully this time we are in for a good race. It is mediums across the board, so it is going to be a case of when you stop on those mediums and who is going to brave the hards for the longest amount of time, I think, in this race. But we're all close together for the time being. Up and down the field, it's a 19-car train for the lead. Don't see that often. Vivian Verstappen having a look at his rival up ahead of him, Hugo, in the Ferrari. I think Hugo, he'll definitely want to make up some points. I think he's missed a few rounds actually. There's Hugo. Miss any overtakes. It's Finley dropped well off the front too. As they've shot away. What's he doing the fly? Yes, he missed Monza and Mexico, so he's definitely a bit behind on where he probably should be in this championship. Finley's closed back up a little bit now, but it's chopping and changing. Palang and Riderdown certainly setting the pace, but is Riderdown's pace too much for even Palang to handle around this Hungarian circuit? Now Verstappen again close to the back of that Ferrari. Ferrari power versus Ferrari power, of course. Works team versus customer. Not that it really matters with equal performance, of course. All the cars perform the exact same way. There might be an odds difference, perhaps. I don't know, actually. But down the inside goes Hugo on Chris RBL. Sticks a nose up the inside of turn 1. Can't find purchase with the RB. Can't make a way through. And has to sit back. Overtaking might be a little bit difficult around this circuit. It's been traditionally that way for this racetrack. Joey B and Scott making it work somehow. Joey B getting ahead of Scott through turn number 3. But it's not traditionally not a lot of places to overtake around here, especially through sector 2. Lifebout looking for any way he can to get past Finley. It's going to be mistakes that matter here at the Hungary. Or if you can get a move done into this next corner. I think that's turn 12 or 11. You can get a little run done if the driver ahead of you gets all out of shape through the left-hander. You can get one done certainly into turn 1 and into turn 3 as well. Maybe even through turn 4 if you've got a decent run on your opponent. You've got to be brave through that section of the circuit though. You've got to be very brave. Hugo close to the back of the RB. Doesn't go for it this time though. Just keeping an eye on the gaps between everybody. Palang has lost touch with Riderdown now. So he's going to be at the mercy of Finley in that McLaren. And he goes down. Let's see. Scott around at turn 1. So easy to do. Light up the rears and you are gone. You'll get on that curb actually on the exit and you are gone. Not a nice curb. At all. Life battle as well. It's a 3-car battle now for P2. It's going to be those final spaces on the podium. I mean, Finley and Life battle, your usual suspects. Palang, of course, a driver that I don't think has finished on the podium this season. I can check that for you. We'll keep an eye on their battle at the front. Palang. Where are you? No. In fact, he's only scored points once. He missed round 1 and 4. He was 4th in Monza and he didn't finish in Miami. So there you go. Keep everything open. Lifebout having a look. No way through for the Aston Martin this time. I think this is going to be a very strategy-based race in terms of overtakes. It's going to be undercuts and overcuts and all that. The pit lane is, I feel like it's quite long actually. Is it? No, you've got to come in at the hairpin, I suppose. I wouldn't say it's the longest on the circuit, but I think it's... I'm not sure. It doesn't look very long. I'd say it's probably not that long, so I feel like an overcut could work. Undercut would be very powerful, I suppose. I pulled off the overcut, I think, back in season 17, I'm going to say. I know I went deep into the race on those mediums. 14 laps or so. It's a 35 lap race, of course. I think we've got 2 distinct groups now. We've got Finley down to Ghost, the battle for the podium. As Lifebout looks to try and get a move done. Doesn't do it. Actually, Palang, I think he must have made a mistake because he's down the order. When did that happen? Or did they both get him? Not one, I wasn't paying attention. They probably both got him and I wasn't paying attention. Or we made a mistake. He's down in P4. There's trouble. I am verifying that. Yeah. It looks like they both got him at turn 3 and 4. Apologies. Palang dispatched of by Finley and Lifebout. Left a squabble now over the podium. And that's Palang well off the circuit. And that's going to open the door maybe for Chris, who's right down the inside of Palang. Palang off the circuit once again. Going to come back on, defend the position as well. Chris might feel a little aggrieved about that. Hugo's going to go for it though. He's down the inside of both of them. And he's done it. He's got both of them. It was 3 wide into the penultimate corner. And Hugo smelling the opportunity as his through goes Hamilton moment and gets the place. While Palang and Chris Obiel are battling. Now Chris is going to come back for it again. Down the inside of Palang. I don't think Palang's got much left to defend with. And he's going to have to cede the place to the Racing Bulls car. Kvyat Verstappen, I don't know what's happened to him. He's way down his pit. He's pit. Has he got damage maybe? We're not sure. It might just be an early stop, an early gamble. A big undercut for Kvyat Verstappen maybe. We'll keep an eye on his progress in this race with keen interest. We're not sure if he had damage. I don't think he did. I feel like he would have come out a bit further behind everyone else if he had damage. Koru must have had a moment in this race as well. Oh, I feel like he might have just been down that far, maybe. Excuse me. Big moves in this race. Palang, he was in P2 not 2 laps ago. And now he's way down in P6. Right now, checked out of this race. We won't be seeing him until the end. Unless, of course, a safety car comes out, which is highly likely at this circuit. Lawrence having a good race at the minute as well. He's up with Dakar and Appalise. Dakar now into the pits. This has got to be the play. This has got to be the play from Cadillac. An early stop onto hards. Will anyone else come into the pits? Scott came in early. I think he might have had damage. Reshka and Avenir are going wheel to wheel. I think that's Reshka getting a place on Avenir maybe. Avenir looking to get down the inside of turn 3. Not finding a way through. Raymond is lurking in the background as well as they go. Meanwhile, Lifebout chasing down Finley once again. He's close through sector 2. There's no real overtaking opportunity through this chicane, sorry. This twisty section now. Another sort of chicane, I suppose, if you want to call it that. Sniffing the back of that McLaren, looking to make it yet another Aston Martin 1-2. These two, of course, they are very familiar with how each other race. Lifebout just looking for every opportunity, making himself big in the mirrors, trying to intimidate Finley. A lot of the tactics in race. He's lagged out. He's lagged out, everybody. Please tell me the internet hasn't gone down. Internet seems fine. Stream's gone. By the looks of things. Oh no, stream's still going. We're still live. We are. There we are. Hello, everyone. Nothing in the chat, so this is me, yeah. This is a me issue. No problemo. Not lagged out of the session in a while. Why are communication features still... I've already verified. I have to keep verifying my stupid age. Jesus Christ. Screw you, Sony! Get it back in. Apologies. This isn't the usual plan. Spectate, there you go. Right, we're going to get back in. I hope I'm not missed much. I've been keen to see these pit stops. We'll know who's coming. We know relative position of all the drivers. Just waiting to get in. Hope we've all had a nice Friday. Oh damn. Right, we're back. We're back, folks. Apologies once again. Nobody's come in, of course, from the leaders. Kvyat Verstappen is on P13 right now. He's behind Raymond on the circuit. In fact, maybe even battling with Raymond. I'm not sure what happened there. Lag maybe or something, but he's passed Raymond now. Through the chicane of all places. I mean, he won't get an undercut on Ryderdahl. I think Ryderdahl's way too far ahead. Undercut shenanigans. But he was certainly up there with Hugo. So that's where his race is, I think. Up here in P4. Maybe even on that last spot on the podium. I don't know. Kvyat Verstappen's made his way through Avenir now as well. He's got Reshka next. And look at the difference those hard tyres are making already. I think it's not long for this world. Reshka maybe, or maybe not. Reshka doing his best to defend. Different races though. Avenir's coming to the pits. Kvyat Verstappen sniffing around the outside. Looking to the outside of the next corner now of turn 3. Surely he'll have the grip to go all the way around the long way. The Daniel Ricciardo move round turn number 3. Gets it done. Solid move. I like that one. Daker getting ahead of Raymond at the same place. Raymond cooking it a little bit too much. Keeping it, but only having a half spin for his troubles. If you've seen the chat, Raymond, 3-second time penalty for track limits. I want to say Appalisa has got himself one of those as well. That's not what I'm looking for. There's 2 of those, in fact. Easy to do at this circuit. Easy to do. And we're waiting for the strategy to play out, of course. Kvyat Verstappen closing in. Let's see what his gap to leader is. 22.6. I'd probably say Finley and Lifebout are in a bit of trouble when it comes to their stop. He could come out near about there or thereabouts with them if they were to pit now. Of course, the longer he leaves it, the more he gets, but of course he's also got to deal with the fact that he's passing through traffic that have every obligation to race him. But he's got the grip and he's been picking them off one by one. As Kvyat Verstappen, we're keeping an eye on the leaders because there's not really much going on in that part of the field right now. We're interested in Kvyat Verstappen's race because he is racing for the podium. We want him on the podium because I'm pretty sure I predicted him there. He's looking to the inside down here into sector 3, and I think it could be a little bit of a wobble. That'll slow him down for sure. Hugo into the pits, so he's going to be the first to pull the trigger of the lead pack. After Kvyat Verstappen's early stop, round the outside this time for Kvyat Verstappen. Gets it done this time, I think. It's going to go along ahead of the driver, and he's going to be ahead of Hugo as Hugo comes out of the pits and by some distance as well. RB Appalisa making it incredibly difficult for Verstappen. That is his right. Easy passes, and Palang and Ryderdahl both on a 3-second time penalty. Not that 3 seconds matters right now, but could it matter later on in the race? Kvyat Verstappen through up into P7. This is the man we're watching. Again, 22.6. I reckon he's going to come out ahead of Finley and Lifebout here. But that's the question. Is the tyre delta going to be too much for QVR Verstappen, of course? Scott's in the pits as well. I think that's a retirement. Yes, it is. Ghost is out of this race as well. Oh my god, Ghost, what happened? We are trying to find out what happened to poor Ghost. QVR Verstappen, meanwhile, none of the leaders has yet still come in. That's going to be Scott's car making its way back onto the track. I do hate that the game does that. Surely it's not that difficult for the game to put him, just remove him in the pits. Next is Jack Halako for QVR Verstappen. He's 1.8 away. Lawrence and Raymond getting racy. In the meantime, Lawrence has come in for a set of mediums. Two-stop, I guess. For Lawrence, maybe some damage. Horror and Raymond getting racy now. Raymond is, in fact, it's not getting racy at all with anybody. He's getting familiar with the barrier, though. I don't want steam open. I wonder what happened to Ghost. He's out of the race. Did he retire in the pits? What happened? He'll be kicking himself about that one. Well, let's see. QVR Verstappen already right on the back of Jack Halako. Jack Halako into the pits. Still, those top 5 do not yield. 14 laps now they have gone on this tyre. Is this a strategy masterclass from QVR Verstappen? I think Ryder is probably safe. Gap to lead is still about 22 seconds. But Lifebout and Finley are the target for QVR. But again, it's going to be that tyre deficit that gets him, I think, in this instance. Jacko's in, is out behind Avenir and Joe, who are side by side into turn 1. Avenir looking to get the best on the Alpine, but the Alpine uses that outside line to full effect, but can't quite use it to the best of his ability. Can't quite get ahead of the Ferrari. Can he get any purchase here? Not quite. The Ferrari gets the place and keeps it. Avenir into P12. He's still watching QVR Verstappen play. He's got himself, I think, 3-second time penalty for his troubles. And just Finley's in. Finley's in. This is going to be it. This is going to be the benchmark. Finley's in the pits. He's being serviced now. And released. Right, Verstappen, we ride on board. Look to the right hand side of your picture. We're looking for an orange car coming out of the pits. Hugo's not that far behind him now. The deficit certainly waves off. And I think QVR Verstappen, as much as this tyre deficit has helped him out, Hugo is already on his case. And maybe even looking to the inside of turn 3. He does! QVR gets into space. Going to go all the way around the outside and try and race him. But the grip is much better on those hard tyres of Hugo, who are much fresher. 6 lap is the deficit. And Hugo back ahead of QVR Verstappen. So I think, as much of an undercut as this has been, I think maybe it's an overestimate of the tyre deg on the hard tyres. If Hugo now, he's looking likely for a podium if he can keep the faster guys behind. Ryder is well gone. I think he could pit on the last lap, and I think he would still win the race probably. Maybe not that drastic, I suppose. He'd have to pit way before then, but you get the point. Lang's in now. Going to be way behind Hugo, way behind Verstappen as well. Just tyres for the Mercedes though, behind Dakar even. But again, is this strategy going to pay dividends? I'm not sure. Because it's going to be a big cut, but there's the tyre delta that's really a killer here. Lawrence as well in a similar position. He started on mediums, has gone to mediums again. Was that a fumble from Lawrence, or is that his legitimate strategy for a two-stop? Is anyone else going to try the two-stop? So far, everybody's gone onto a set of cards. Jacko around the outside of Avenir, up ahead. I'm going to be chasing down the McLaren of Koru next. Keep an eye on Lawrence because he's the closest driver to anybody else. Although I'm not sure that's going to last long. Not at all. So then we go down to Finley, who's already on the back of Verstappen. I think this strategy has not paid off. Unless, I mean, there's still a long way to go. Is he going to come in again, Verstappen? Is he going to go onto another set of mediums, perhaps? Ryder finally in the pits. I think he'll come out well ahead of Hugo. Let's see. They're going to be racing, are they? On the line. No, in fact, Hugo's going to come out well ahead, but Hugo's going to be your effective race leader. So maybe that penalty might come into play as Finley gets past Verstappen on the main straight. Surely this is a two-stop then from the Cadillacs. Surely. Because I think if they continue on at this rate, they're going to be eaten up by Jacko probably as well, Avenir potentially. They're not that far away. Dakia's just come in towards the chicane now. And I think Jacko's probably the closest, or even Palang maybe as well. The closest to them, and that's only 6.3 seconds. So are they going to stick it out, or are they going to go for a two-stop race? Look at that. Ryder already closing in on Hugo. Not much you can do when the guy is just that fast. I'm not sure there's anything we can do really. As Hugo hasn't quite taken the lead just yet. Chris is still out. Stacker up ahead now. He's in P5. Lifebound will come out behind Dakia as well. So he's going to be way behind on Finley. Finley's got a decent overcut. Or undercut on him, sorry. But again, will the tyre delta come into play? It's 3 laps between, well, Hugo, Finley and Lifebound, respectively. 6 laps between the 3 of them. Going between Lifebound and Hugo, of course. Palang's in that mix as well. And Palang has proven he's a bit of a dab hand at this circuit. But he's got that 3-second time penalty to contend with there as well. It's a killer around this track. Or it can be. Let's see, Ryder closing in on Hugo, who is himself closing in on Chris. Surely Chris is peeling into the pits, if that he certainly is. That's going to make way for Hugo. Hugo's going to give it his best now to keep Ryder behind. Straight mode activated. Finley's lurking in the background as well. And it's not over, in fact, for Finley. Finley has got, well, the undercut's given him a bit better of a gap. But the pace for Ryder is going to be interesting. Hugo's going to become Finley's best friend if he can keep Ryder at bay. But he can't. Ryder's dove down the inside and has already got rid of the Ferrari. I think Hugo's going to be Finley's friend of the war. But Finley's certainly got the pedigree and the racecraft to get past this Ferrari. This is how soon can he do it? That's what you want to do in this sector. These cars are much better at following closely. There is one advantage about this track. It does make closing something a little bit more bearable. Finley very close, but already Ryder now seeks to stretch his legs. Stretch that gap. Finley will not want that in the slightest. Lifebound, meanwhile, he's caught up to the back of Dakia. That overtake is going to be a matter of moments away. But this one is happening right before us. Finley ahead of Hugo. Is Hugo going to go back at him to get in towards turn number 3, to get back into P2? It looks like he might. He thinks about it maybe, but I don't think the move was really there. Lifebout is dispatched of Dakar. Kubica Verstappen into it. Here's a 2-stop from the Cadillacs. Where's that going to filter him out? It's going to be behind Apalisa, behind Griffin. P11. We've seen how strong fresh tyres are around this circuit. I'd imagine Verstappen's going to go to the end now. How far can those hard tyres take him? I would expect Dakar to be in on this lap. They're running their race Cadillac. They're trying for the 2-stop. Dakar has, I think, just let Palang through maybe. Not to slow himself down. He'll hopefully won't have got a track limits warning for that one. I think the task now for Finley is to stay within that 3 seconds and not get a 3 seconds himself. Can we see what Finley's on right now? That time he's got 1 warning, 2 warnings, so 1 more and he's got a penalty. Actually, let's look at Ryder Dow. Only 1 warning. That's weird. He got a penalty on the 4th one. He got a warning to 1. It's a legitimate one by the looks of things. Elisa battling away with Kubica Verstappen. Once again, Apalisa down. Griffin's going to go. Dakar coming out of the pits now. So he's going to be behind these 3. But Kubica Verstappen already dispatched of Griffin and Apalisa, and he'll be hunting down the cars ahead of him now. I mean, what is the gap to lead? Let's have a look. He's got 30 seconds to make up. 4th, potentially. 3rd at a push. He's got to contend with Lifebout here as well, remember. And Hugo, of course. Would Hugo be unlucky? Would he have a mistake? Would he get a puncture? You don't know. They've got to go a long way on these tyres. Verstappen's got to go a significantly smaller distance than his competitors ahead. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. So keep an eye on Verstappen, because I think that's the interesting part of the race. You think maybe there's not been a lot of overtaking, not a lot of action. You think this is a boring race? I think it's actually been quite exciting, this Hungarian Grand Prix. I think that's thanks to the Cadillacs, who have made this one interesting with their strategy and their tyre offset to everybody else. How quickly can Verstappen catch up to those ahead of him? You've got to remember Hugo as well, the driver on the oldest set of hard tyres in the top 8. So we're yet to see. Lawrence, meanwhile, has got Reshka for company, down in P14. Looks like he has a time penalty though. So as it stands, he'll be 15th, but that's a point for Lawrence. That's better than he's done in some of the other races, so he can't argue with that one. But we'll see where he can manage. Hugo, I think, just slipping away now from Finley. Finley outside of that 3-second window. So P2, it looks like it's going to be Holland McLaren, unless a mistake from Ryder now, which we have seen. He is human, he can make the odd mistake, but I think it's rare, if anything. Let's have a look at the fastest lap so far, which is this one. 17.8, we're nowhere near that fastest race lap, by the way. Ghost is typing, we're about to find out what happened. That fastest race lap, 1 minute 16.0, we're nowhere near. We're at 1.8 seconds away from that one. Find out what happened to Ghost now. He is typing, so we're yet to see. Scott's typing as well. Oh dear. Okay, I see. An emergency. Understandable. Oh, and a bit of contact. That's Reshka and Lawrence going wheel to wheel. And that's Lawrence and Reshka both in the wall. Oh dear. I'm not sure. That's virtual safety car. It's going to slow things down for everybody. Might give some of the top drivers a chance to pit as well. I think Kvyat Verstappen might be a bit miffed at that one, as he's just caught the back of Jackalacco. Oh no, it's a full safety car in fact. Okay, that's Kvyat Verstappen's strategy. Not quite out the window actually, because if he doesn't stop... Well, the leaders haven't caught the safety car either. They've all passed. This is going to be interesting. Palang's in. Verstappen's going to come out ahead of him, is he? Oh, I don't know, but that was some... We're going to have to watch that back on the replay. Oh! What in the world has happened there? Palang and Verstappen come together. Wing damage for Palang. No? Wing damage for Verstappen? Yeah, wing damage for Verstappen in the Cadillac. Like a safety car, that's really thrown a spanner in the works. I think the Lawrence Reshka moment, the highlight of the race. Now, I think Kvyat Verstappen, I think he's going to be probably fuming at this. Completely thrown his strategy in up the window. Let's take a look back at the Lawrence and Reshka moment, because we were watching idly while I was replying or seeing what Ghost had said. Let's see, Lawrence looking to the inside, not backing off as well. Oh, I think they both overcooked it. I don't know, that one might end up in the stewards, man. They do come together. Kvyat Verstappen's going to pick from mediums, I think. So maybe not the end of the world. 10 laps from mediums would be decent, but will they be good enough? Yeah, they come together. Oh no, softs. Okay. Verstappen go very aggressive. And in fact, it brings everyone back into the race really. Right about look to control the pace and zoom off. I'm trying to review the footage here. I think they come together, they make it through the corner okay. And then maybe they both lose the rear, or maybe there's a second bit of contact that sends them both into the wall. I'm not sure. I'll be looking at that one later anyway. If it does end up in the stewards room. But it's hard to call from the footage, as it does look like they both just lose it at the same time. But of course, that's only with the off-board camera footage. But yeah, we don't know. We won't know until later on. But the safety car's out, ladies and gents. We're going to bunch the field up and we're going to go racing in a few short moments. A few laps probably. We've got to get everybody bunched back up. It might take maybe 2 more laps. Let's see. Probably 3 as we're approaching the line now. 2 at a minimum. Here comes Verstappen again. That's going to be really good. So they're not repairing his damage. If Kvyat Verstappen have a change my wing moment. Looks like he did. Yes. And standing there waiting with a wing, are they? No. In fact, they're putting him back on hards. Okay. Strange. Well, let's bring Dakar back into the equation. Dakar didn't sweat, so it was like a bit of 6. Some of the drivers behind him on a lot newer tyres. Finley's got a chance here at taking the win from Ryderdown. That would be what he's after. I think he's missed a round or two. I'll bring him right back into it. Chris RBL, don't count him out as well. He likes to come out of the woodwork when a safety car comes out of this portion of the race. I'd say we're going to go one more lap and we will go racing. With or without Raymond, most likely. Lang's way down, I'm not sure what's happened to him. But yes, hard to call the Lawrence Reschke moment, to be honest. Off-board footage I don't quite think paints the full picture, so we'll have to see. We'll ask. Ping him now. So I'll leave it. I'll leave it for the stewards round. We'll talk about it maybe on the podcast. Tune in for the findings from the Lawrence and Reschke moment, or at least a more in-depth analysis, I suppose. I'll try and do that sometime. We'll see. Life Battle's gone for the medium tyres, interestingly. I think that's not a terrible idea. They won't have too much wear on them under the safety car. It just depends how much, exactly where the ceiling is. If you're Verstappen and Dakar, you think 8 laps is the ceiling. Which is probably the perfect amount of laps in this situation. How's Lifeboat played a blinder? Can Lifeboat snatch a win in this situation? Can Hugo get his first win of the season? Or will Ryderdown pull away and hold on to it? I've called that perfectly. Raymond has just caught up. Safety car should be in now. There it is. You love to see it. We're going to ride on board with Finley. Safety car lights are off. Finley will be now focused on his opponent ahead of him. The Aston Martin of Ryderdown, the man who's dominated this championship and will continue to do so if nobody can topple him from the top step. Line out to lighten up those rears. And all the work he can for the tyres. Ready to gonna punch it. Huh? Is he going to teleport back? Oh my god. Ryderdown has been the victim of what has been a nasty bug in the past. Has he in fact lagged out? Did he leave the session? Because he's down to 5th, up to 4th now. What just happened? I didn't get a message and he's left. I don't think he has. I think it's just bad connection. Safety car again. What's happened to Ryderdown? Our police is the cause of the safety car, so we're going to go again. I think Ryderdown maybe just lagged then. He seems to be going around the circuit okay, but we didn't really get a chance to go racing all that much, so we're going for another safety car. I'd imagine it'll probably be a short one. Might be a case of pick them up, do a lap, and then go again. Really into the back of Chris RBL now. So maybe the race win is now back on the cards. Well, it's more on the cards. It's for the top 4 now. Ryderdown, of course, will do everything in his power to get himself back ahead. That was strange. Let's review. Not racing, and then he just disappears. I feel like I've seen that before. That is such a weird bug in the game. It's annoying that it's still there. does look quite laggy though. Actually, I did see him twitching just there. So connection issues for Ryderdown, costing him potentially a race win here. He's still in the race, importantly. But he's dropped out. What? This can't be safe for anyone. He's just appearing in random places on the track now. That might get reported. Because I know in some instances that stuff does get reported. Because it is dangerous. It's not necessarily Ryderdown's fault. I was saying Chris. It's not necessarily Ryderdown's fault, of course, but a car suddenly appearing in front of you, very dangerous for everyone. Will it be a late call? No, it won't. I think we're going to go around again. This race has been very much neutralised. We are going to go racing, just not this lap. Safety cars, it's very slow round here actually. Infamously so. So we're going to go around again. QVR Verstappen on softs this time. Not sure if he got damage again, but the safety car's completely thrown his race out of the window. Second time running as well to pay an end to his hopes of points today. I mean, of course, if somebody else crashes, he probably won't get another safety car in the back. With few laps left. If Elisa leaves the session, Elisa got slammed apparently. Must have been an incident with somebody. Ride it out again. Chris RBL has now left the session. Major connection issues. Ryderdown has left the session now as well. Both lagging out at the same time. Weirdly swapping places as well. Chris RBL has now rejoined the session. ETA Chris get back in. Chris will be aggrieved, or he's left again, to see that he's missing a place. But this could be Finley Hugo lifeboat podium. Safety car's in this lap. We're going to run about with Hugo this time. Ryderdown's back in. He'll have to take control of his car after the restart. So there'll be a few moments before he can actually get involved in this race once again. But it will be the same for Chris when he gets in. Good Peter's detriment, Ryderdown. I think Finley's dropped it now. Yes, he has. Good place to drop it, mid-corner. Hugo's going to go for it. Lifeboat all over this as well. Can he get ahead of Hugo? He's the only one on these medium tyres. Looks to the inside, no moves. Dakar, in the meantime, he smells out an opportunity for P4. Ryderdown still not back in control of his car. Side by side with Jack Alaka. The two Scotsmen are at it. Chris is back in the session now as well. These two are battling though. Through turn number 3 they go. Finley and Hugo and Lifeboat, sorry, they're battling as well. But we're watching these two as Dakar just gets ahead. Keeps Jack Alaka at bay for the time being. Chris RBL dropping like a stone, as is Ryderdown. I think they might be out of the count for this last few laps. Connection issues and safety cars really shaking this race up on its head now. Lifeboat is all over the back of Hugo. Finley is going to look to distance himself from the two drivers behind him. Koru and Avenir battling through the middle sector as well. Koru at the inside, around the outside now as well, and it's going to be Avenir. He kind of forces him off the track a little bit. Koru's coming back at him though, as that's QVR Verstappen going right on the outside, using the grip of the soft tyres. He gets 2 places through the twisty section. Lawrence is trying to get involved in this as well. Oh, and who's that? Who's that in the barriers? That's Raymond. Raymond in the barriers further back. It's all happening. QVR Verstappen's going to try and make the best of this race as he possibly can. He'll hope to get in the likes of P6 maybe. He's got to clear a few cars to do that though as well. Lawrence up into the points for the time being. He hopefully will stay there if he can get that 3-second distance. Palang up ahead of Griffin now. We'll put the penalties on the board for you as well, so we can all see. We're not caring about the tyres, but side by side, Lifeboat and Finley. Lifeboat around the outside, pulling off the Daniel Ricciardo move and getting himself up into P2. His penalties on the board. Lifeboat will be chasing down Finley with everything he's got now in that Aston Martin. Finley, remember, he's got one warning and he'll be on a 3-second time penalty, so he's got to stop himself from doing that. Griffin's on 13 seconds of time penalties. Palang and Dake now, it's an absolute melee. Ryder Dowell's off the circuit as well. Something's going on there. Maybe some desperation from the championship leader. Maybe some frustration there as well, perhaps. We're just trying it in places where you wouldn't normally go for a move. Lawrence is in the fight as well. Kvyat Verstappen trying to do his best. 6 seconds of time penalties now for Ryder now. I think there's going to be some stewards reports later on this evening. Jack Alacco though, this man, he's got ahead of Dake. Dake has fallen off. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but I don't know what it is about safety cars and APPF1, but everybody seems to lose their head, or at least a lot of drivers seem to lose their head in a safety car, and it's all just carnage. Ryder out ahead of Dake. Although he's going to plummet with that time penalty. We're on the penultimate lap. Finley looking to seal the deal. Kvyat Verstappen now ahead of Joey B. He's got 2 cars to clear and he can get himself in the fight for P5. That would be a good result. Jack Alacco is 3 seconds behind the leaders. So a time penalty from one of them would keep the top 3 on the podium, just in a different order perhaps. Kvyat Verstappen, the man to watch at the moment. Ryder Dowell though, I think he's going to be one to watch as well. We'll keep an eye. Could see some more desperate moves from the championship leader. But it's going to be too little too late really. We're on the final lap now. Understandable that he would be frustrated after being removed from the session. Another 3-second time penalty. That's not helping his campaign at all. It's just falling him further and further back. Can't get ahead of Griffin on this moment. Using all the battery he can. Keep it clean, Ryder Dowell. Nothing silly. Just locking up. Griffin just casually keeping the outside line. Oh, I thought they were going to come together there for a moment there. Griffin though cedes the place to Ryder Dowell. Reshka and Dake swap places as well. Kvyat Verstappen has actually dropped a few places. Oh no, he's still in the same place he was actually. My apologies. 3 seconds. Oh, I don't know. I think Chris and Palang might just be safe with their 3 seconds. So it looks like P7 is the best they can do right now. Reshka's looking in the pole position for that one. Nothing Lifeboat can really do. We're coming to the final corner now. Finley, I think, has been gifted this one a little bit, but he won't care. It's Finley. Finally, a different name on the top step. Lifeboat P2, Hugo P3 in this race. No Ryder Dowell on the podium at all. Palang has spun at the final corner. I know what that feels like. And he's plummeted down there as well. Gifted Reshka P5. Jack Alacco, by the way, a fantastic P4. I think driver of the day for sure. Has to go the way of Jack Alacco today. Now Reshka and Dake, Kvyat Verstappen, I think they'll feel a little bit aggrieved about the safety cars, but P6 and 7 for Cadillac is not a bad result at all things considered. Lawrence in the points, everyone. Ryder Dowell, P14. I think he might be in the stewards trying to appeal some of those time penalties perhaps, but he is going to feel absolutely aggrieved with his situation. And I suppose the luck had to run out. We said on the podcast he's been lucky in times as well, and it finally ran out this time and saw him way down the order. What a race in those final few laps. Points to points, Avenir. Remember, any issues, send them over to the stewards. We should have a good look at them. Yeah, Finley agrees. Fraudulent win. He says in the chat. A win is a win, is my words to him. Driver of the day went to Dake on this occasion from the game, but my driver of the day is Jack Alacco. So congratulations, Jack, on I think what was arguably quite a fantastic race. Did well to be in the right place at the right time of the safety car. And he wrote, I haven't done the standings quick. Finley is your winner. Lifeboat, Hugo, Jacko, Reshka, Dake, Kiva Verstappen, Joey B, Koru, Chris RBL, top 10, Palang, Lawrence, Avenir, Ryderdale, Griffin, Ramona, Polisa, Scott, Ghost. And yeah, I think that's it. I think I got them all. Just in the nick of time. But that's it, folks. Round number 5. We're officially halfway through the season now. And a turning point, perhaps, in the championship. Big point swing. Probably the way of Finley. Chris as well. It's going to close up now. Might not close up too much in the constructors. I mean, Cadillac are probably P2 in the championship now. After that one. But it's a 65-point deficit they've got to overcome. And, of course, both Aston Martins did at least finish the race, even if it was on minimum points. So we'll see, well, a minimum points. But, wow. That's it, folks. Thank you all so very much for watching. Crazy race. And congratulations to the podium. Congratulations to Jack Alacco. Commiserations, of course, to Chris. Oh, actually, Chris finished a bit further down, maybe. But congratulations to Ryderdale and anyone else who was affected by those lag-outs. But yes, we'll be back again next week, of course. Same time, same place for round number 5. The second half of this season. Which we check the calendar, will take place at Silverstone Reverse. A great start on Singapore next. Oh, we're in for a great end to this season. Singapore, Brazil, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain. Be there or be square for the final half of this Tier 1 season. Check out all the other racing action as well. Tier 3, Tier 1. Tier 1? This is Tier 1. Tier 3, Tier 2 and Formula 2 as well. As we've got plenty of action, all covered by some fantastic voices in the comms box as well. But for now, I have been Sumo. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you again next week for some more Tier 1 action. Goodbye.